Alrighty. Good afternoon, boys and girls. I wanted to come to you guys with a couple Bible stories, and if you have this book at home, go get it, and we'll go ahead and read. This is the Children's Bible. It starts out with Genesis, obviously, and I have it. The Old Testament. God makes everything. A long time ago, there was nothing but darkness. It is hard to picture just nothing, but that's all there was, except for God. So God made light. That way, there could be day and night instead of only darkness. Then God made the earth and divided the parts of it into oceans and seas, and the other parts into big pieces of land. God made all the plants and trees and made them grow on the land. In the sky, God made the stars and the planets. He made the sun and the moon so there would always be day after every night. It looked good. When God looked at all the water covering the world, he made big fish and little fish. Some were too small to even see. For the sky he made large birds and small, in many colors. They were bright blue, dark green, brown, purple, red, black, and white. When he looked towards the land, God saw grass blowing in the breezes and ripe fruit hanging from the trees. He knew it was a good place for animals. He made tiny bees and giant elephants, crocodiles, sheep, and lion, all different sorts of animals. But they did not have names yet. There were just the right animals living in just the right places, and not too many. And there were plenty of food and water for all of them. The first man and woman. At that time, there were no people on the earth. God wanted to make someone who was like him. God put his hand in the dirt. He picked up a handful of dust and blew into it, then created a life. That was the first man. God brought all the different kinds of animals to Adam, called them whatever you want, God said. So Adam called a hippopotamus and another a butterfly. Once Adam had finished, God saw that not one of the animals was just right for being Adam's special helper. So while Adam slept, God took a part of Adam, and around that part he made someone who was like him, like Adam, but different. She was the first woman. When Adam woke up, he was very happy. Here is someone who can be my friend, he said. But she had no name. When God finished making Adam and the woman, he was pleased. He decided he would rest for one day. He blessed all that he had made. The Garden of Eden. God chose the prettiest part of the earth and gave it to Adam and the woman. It was a garden called Eden. In Eden, all the animals lived peacefully with each other. No one was afraid. Adam and the woman loved God very much. They walked around their garden and had no clothes on because they had no reason to feel ashamed. For them, there was one thing even better than all the dazzling flowers, tall trees, and lovely smells in Eden. It was that they knew God loved them very much. God told Adam and the woman that they could do whatever they wanted. There was just one rule they must follow. God said, "You may eat from any of the fruit in the trees except for one. And that is the tree of knowledge of good and evil." The two people understood. All for a piece of fruit. All of the animals in Eden, the serpent was smarter and craftier than the rest. One day the serpent crept towards the woman. He teased her. "You don't have to listen to God. You can eat from that tree in the middle of the garden. You won't die." After this, the woman walked over to the tree. She did not know what she should do. Then she made a choice. She picked a piece of the fruit and took a bite. She brought the fruit to Adam and asked him to eat. And once they had both taken a bite, they suddenly felt as if the cloud were hanging over them. The sunshine felt cold. For the first time ever, they were afraid. They had done the wrong thing. The Lord was very sad because he must discipline his children. God did this because he cared. He wanted Adam and the woman to know that every choice was their own. Some choices lead to good things, while other choices can be painful. Out of Eden, God told Adam and the woman that they must leave the Garden of Eden. Otherwise, he said, they might disobey again and eat from another forbidden tree, the tree of life. Adam and the woman looked at each other. They were together, but they still felt frightened of all that lay ahead. When they left Eden, they would have to work hard to find enough to eat. Adam gave the woman a name. Then he called her Eve, which meant living. Adam and Eve bowed their heads. They felt very sad. They knew God would continue to show his love for them, but the worst part of their punishment was that they would never be close to God as they had been before. They chose to disobey him. So that's the beginning of the story, and we'll continue on later. And that's covering Genesis. So we must remember to obey God. We'll see you next time.